We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Imagine what would have happened if we hadn't attracted the magic we had back when we couldn't fathom. Life is a fantasy, not with the vanity, not the way it was back then. So I grab my pen and write it down like a scripture. Mr. Mystic, making hits for the misfits. The show where you don't know what you don't know when it's on again with Sean and Jonathan. Yeah.
Welcome to Meta Mystics, where you don't know what you don't know. My name's Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
And tonight we are bringing back your homeboy, your favorite neighborly wizard, Lord Byron Jester. Welcome back to Meta Mystics, my good man.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Happy to see you. I'm always happy to see you, man.
Yeah.
Always bring a smile, dude. There's just something that is, I think it's because you're funny and we know how your mind works. And so getting you on the show is just like, it's uplifting, really.
We already know it's going to be a good time, is what it is.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a lot of good information that always comes from these shows. And today is actually going to be a little bit different. So Byron, you've had on, you've brought on over here a few of your magician allies, buddies, friends. What would you even call them? The part of a
the homeboys
cult? I don't know, but either way, I mean, you brought on E.A. Coetting and El the Alchemist, and there's another one that I'm forgetting right now, but...
What, J.S.?
J.S. Garrett, yes.
Garrett.
How could I
How
forget
can you
that?
forget, dude?
Yeah.
So good. And so today is actually, you're going to be bringing on another, this is another magician, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a magician. He's down in Down Under. And he's a tattoo artist and stuff.
Oh, very cool. Very
Hell
cool.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's going to be fun. We're trying to get him on the show right now. There might be some technical difficulties, but that's okay because I actually got a pretty, something pretty awesome that I wanted to share. And it didn't say for me not to say it, but right now, the White Boy Wizard is undergoing a 5-MEO DMT ceremony to cap off the Ibogaine ceremony that he had yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So it's back
For some reason, I thought they
days.
were doing that before the Ibogaine. So they did it the other way around. That's interesting, man.
Yeah, dude, he said nothing.
Shout out to him, dude.
I mean, I'll let him share his story and everything, but my God, dude, he texted me. He goes, dude, I did the Ibogaine thing last night. And I was like, I don't even want to text about this. I got to call you. And so I called him and I was like, how was it? Was it sick or what? And he goes, dude, it was the best thing, like the most immersive, amazing experience that I've ever had in my entire life. And so much healing has come from it. And I'm like, dude, that
awesome.
is, dude, he was weeping. He was in tears. Like he was just overcome with joy. It's amazing especially something like Ibogaine, right? Like Ibogaine can be a little hard from what I hear, you know?
Yeah, I'm happy that it went well. You know what I mean? Because I don't really know a whole lot about it. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, in passing, but man, I'm sure it's probably another one of those things that can go either way. And so I'm really glad that he had an amazing experience. That's great. Good news.
5-methoxy DMT can also be pretty intense. It's a lot different than your typical NN DMT.
Yeah, that's Bufo, right?
I'm not sure. What do you mean Bufo?
Like from the Bufo toad? Is it 5? So methoxy, is that 5-MEO?
Yeah, that's 5-methoxy, and you can I think you can extract it too. Normally, I think it's just a different process.
Dude, what I just found out, what he was telling me, he said that toad can be found along the Colorado River. I'm like, of all places to find it,
dude,
in America.
The dude that we had on before talking about his experience with that, it was like super crazy. Like he started to see sounds and like there was, I don't know if he was at a music festival or they were just playing music. I'm not even sure, but he was saying that he could like see the vibration in the air from the music or whatever the ambiance that was in the room, dude. Pretty immersive, I think.
You ever tried it, Byron? Ibogaine?
Oh, No, I haven't tried ibogaine or 5-methoxy. I had a little bit of 5-methoxy. I just been sitting on for like years now. Yeah, so someone gave it to me, but I have a
Yeah, dude.
stockpile of all sorts of stuff that I need to quit being lame and start doing.
Quit being lame. Dude.
Well, somebody
you can't
told
take
me
that stuff lightly, dude.
Well, somebody told
You know?
me that if you don't do it at least 50 times, then you're a pussy.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
heard, we had
My-
a dude say that, huh?
My
asshole.
favorite DMT is Jungle Spice. But
Jungle Spice.
our buddy just hopped in the chat there.
Oh, let's go. I'm going to spotlight him real quick. Bang. What's up? What's up, my dude? How are you?
Good, man. Very good. How are you guys?
Good, man.
Really
Happy
good.
to see you.
Yeah,
You too,
dude.
man. You too. Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Definitely.
dude. So Byron was telling us a little bit about you, and we're really excited to have this kind of conversation. And let's just get all the way weird. Don't hold anything back. I want to learn everything
Awesome.
that there is to
Awesome.
learn from you, sir.
Oh, same here, man. Same here. Anything we can kind of learn from each other? Fuck yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
dude. So could you tell us just a little bit about yourself and like maybe how you got started, really?
How I got what? Sorry.
Just how you got started into your practice or anything
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. Cool, man. I mean, it was always like it's kind of ancestral practice in my family. So my grandfather started teaching me when I was very young, and my mum as well. Kind of from there, man, like a lot of tarot card readings, a lot of occult kind of stuff, learning how to contact spirits. Then from there, I kind of just started delving more into the infernal side, the darker side of things. Always had lots of visions of Lucifer and Satan constantly, man, and like lots of real crazy, like astral projections, being trapped in dreams, being trapped in really weird places on the astral, and going through a lot of trials and tribulations that way, as well as physical too. And each time that happened, it just kind of led me further and further and further down the track and closer towards the spiritual practice and the magical practice, until the point of like kind of putting it down for a little while, doing my own thing with tattooing and music and lifting, all that crazy stuff. Then I got kind of pulled back into it, man. I had a really crazy car accident a few years ago. That started it. Everything kind of came back online, if that makes sense, like it kind of goes away for a little while and you're like, oh, okay, it's everything's back to normal, whatever. And then boom, you're back in, and it's
sometimes you just need slapped upside the head to wake up a little bit,
Oh, dude, 3 cars later, yeah, man, yeah, that woke me up. Then all the crazy spiritual attacks from there. Marduk actually came in after that and started showing me some things and gave me like some astral tools, if that makes any sense. Never seen him again after that. That was the only time. Then kind of from there, bro, my mom ended up getting really, really sick. She had breast cancer, and I was working pretty heavily with Odin at the time, and he was like, put her in the bath and let's fucking do this. Coming from that kind of side of the world too, like my heritage, working with Odin was really, really kind of easy, if that makes sense. Like definitely trials and tribulations. But everything just flowed with him. It was just like bang, just instant got it.
I've had a lot of success with Odin as well. That's interesting. Like accidental,
he's
almost like joking success. Like it almost doesn't make any damn sense, dude. Like how it just happens. I'm not doing any ritual. I'm just calling on him. Like that's it.
Yeah, man. I don't even know what to say. Like I don't know if that's just him, man, or if it's him taking a liking to that specific person as a practitioner, or some kind of other connection. But fuck, dude, that dude, he works fast. He works real fast.
One of my favorites for sure.
Oh yeah, man, and it's cool. Like he's got a pretty broad spectrum of different things to work with him with. I don't find that it's not one thing he can't do. So.
Right. And he is like the god of wisdom as well, right? And so if you're in a sticky situation or something like that, I can imagine you just call on him, and all of a sudden you kind of just have the insight or an idea, or how does that work, like in your experience with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, one of the things he came and told me, this was a few years ago, I was opening up my tattoo shop with my now ex-business partner. Probably a year or so before that, he told me he's going to fuck with you. He's going to steal your money. He's going to do shit. And he's going to try and take it. Be ready. All right.
Wow.
No worries. We're having dramas opening up the shop with the council and things like that, allowing us to open up. So I got all the names of the council members, things like that. He kind of just brought them to me, did my thing. Within a week, we're open. Shit like that, dude. It was crazy, you know. And then I asked him, probably about a year into the shop being open, I was like, okay, I can feel some snakes at my back. Someone's got a knife to my back, you know. And I asked him, who is it? You know, like, I want to see the lives of everyone around me that's got a knife to my back just be destroyed, and I'll know who it is. And it's the same thing within a week, dude. Those people started getting fucked up.
Oh shit!
Almost working as fast as the demons that Byron says usually works fast, right?
Yeah, man.
That's
Like,
I don't know if that's a weird coincidence or what, but I mean, I don't even know where the fuck they exist, dude. Do you think that these entities or angels or gods, are they existing in the ethereal realm? Are they existing like in a higher dimension from us? What are your thoughts on this?
Oh man, look, I think it's kind of everything at once, if that makes sense, because you feel them between the space, you know what I mean? Then you feel them there, you feel them in every kind of level, if that makes any sense. I think it's a bit of everything.
Okay.
What about yourself? What do you think?
No, well, I don't know. I tend to think that there are subtle energies that I think that they're existing in higher dimensions, because there's a lot of light that we can't perceive. There's a lot of sound that we can't perceive. There's just a lot of everything that we have no capability of being able to perceive or understand. And I tend to imagine that they're somewhere nestled in there, not necessarily off on some distant planet, you know, not like light years away or anything. Maybe they are, I don't know, but I tend to believe that the only thing that exists is right here and right now. So you can stack dimensions on top of right here and right now, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I
Yeah,
go
no,
with
I'll
it.
agree with that, man. Like I definitely get that higher dimensional being, you know, but yeah, you can kind of feel them throughout, if that makes any sense. Like they're just always there, coming from that higher dimension, like you said, but through every stage, like you can get in that contact and feel them. So I do anyway. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, and for just to clarify here real quick, your name is Mikhail?
Mikhail, yeah.
Mikhail. Okay. All right. And what is that? Borg?
Yeah, boarding. So it's Swedish.
Well, if that doesn't sound Viking as fuck, then I don't know what does, man.
Then nothing does, hey?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Definitely digging the accent for sure, dude.
That's it.
Yeah, dude. So the Kabbalah King says, I just signed up again because I was broke for the holidays, as we all are. What an awesome coincidence that the great magician is on the live when I signed up again. Ain't no coincidences around here.
It's all magic, dude. You know?
All of it. I think Byron's having some internet problems because he keeps on popping in and out.
Hopefully he'll be able to make it back.
Yeah.
Hopefully so, man. That would be cool.
So, so you had mentioned about how you had come in contact with like the Baphomet, right, or Baal and Marduk, and I always have a curiosity as to in what way are you. I hate the word discernment because I think that it gets tossed around way too often these days. But in what way are you discerning that this is that character? Like, because you're experiencing this in the mind, right? Like that is how you're communicating with said entities.
Yes and no. I'll communicate with them in multiple ways, man. It's not just mentally or that way, but physically as well. You know, like when one comes in, you can feel the difference distinctly between that and another. Or they'll start showing me images of themselves and pulling me towards things about them. And eventually it's like, okay, I was right. It is this entity. Okay, I was right. It was that entity. Like Baphomet, for instance, for us, he was also an ancestral entity. So I've always had that connection with him. I've always had love for him. I've always been interested in working with him. And all of a sudden, he comes in. And so I've only been working with him now for like properly like 2 years, 2.5 years. And man, every time he shows me something to do and tells me how to do something, a spell or a ritual or whatever, man, that shit fucking hits. Like there's no.
I wonder if that's why he works so fast. It's because you're so familiar with him already. You know, I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
Very, very well could be, man. You know, obviously, the more time we spend in ritual, the more time we spend meditating, the more time we spend working with each entity that have chosen to be with us or us with them. It just gets you closer and closer. And I feel the more I do practice and throw myself towards them and kind of dedicate my life and my soul to the purpose of black magic, the more insane everything gets. Like the results are just insane.
And dedicating your life and soul to the purpose of black magic is the most like metal shit I've ever heard in my life. That is wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hail Satan, bro. Fuck yeah.
So when you're seeing these signs, is it somewhat like synchronistically, just kind of throughout your day, you might see something that is definitely symbolic of Odin or said entity that you're dealing with, or is it like in a dream, or how are these signs coming to you?
Some dreams, depending on which entity I'm working with at the time and how deeply I'm going in with them. If I'm being pulled into a path working, then I will go 100%. If a spirit's choosing to work with me, bro, that's a blessing and that's a massive privilege. So I'm going to fucking jump in. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do what I'm told. But yeah, a lot of dreams, man. A lot of physical manifestations. Say like I did a ritual or spell that was given to me by Beelzebub probably about 2 months ago. And it was a spell of dignities, wealth, and honors. And since then, man, our social medias are going crazy. Wealth's coming in. I can't keep up in my shop. But probably about a week after I did that right, and similar things have happened when I do wealth rituals with Beelzebub, is I'll constantly have flying insects everywhere. So like the last one, we had bees just literally fucking multiplying and appearing in my temple, in my shop out of nowhere.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, like it was crazy, man. Like we're looking around outside, there's no beehives. We're even looking in the roof, nothing. They're just multiplying out of nowhere. So things like that, you know, being Lord of all that flies, I'll get a lot of flying insects. He has a personality too. He's pretty funny. So I'll get jokes kind of spoken to me sometimes. Say if I'm working with Pazuzu, I'll have a lot of things to do with wind happening. You know, a lot of like vortex kind of shit, visions of vortexes.
Right.
If that makes any sense at all.
Interesting. Kind of like in the Mummy, where it's like, and he's like, it does that a lot around here.
yeah, bro, exactly. Like, it was only a few weeks back, a couple of weeks before Christmas, we were getting some really bad storms coming towards Sydney, and Pazuzu was like, well, let's do something about it. I'm going to teach you something. I'm like, well, okay, fuck yeah, cool. Like our car, we can't fit it in the garage, man, and it's not $1 million car, but it's not cheap, bro. So we didn't want it to get smashed by hail and things like that. So he goes, well, let's do something. Did the ritual, and that night, out of some divine miracle, that storm disappears and then appears over Melbourne and just destroys Melbourne.
Wow.
I'm like, well, that sucks for them.
Right.
I didn't want to do that, but oh well. Now I know how to kind of work with that, you know?
Right.
Just shifting
man, things like that.
That's crazy that you could just shift that energy like that. Hold on 1 second, because the guy who we were talking about at the top of the show just got in here, and I need to hear about how this went. White Boy Wizard, how was the 5 MEO, my good man?
Oh my fucking god. I can't even put it into words. And like, we're just barely about to get in the freaking truck to go back over to the center. So give me like 30 minutes and I'll try and hop back on, and then I can give you a fucking
For
rundown.
sure, dude. For
Cool,
sure,
man.
dude.
All right, I'll check back in a little bit. Love you. Bye.
All right, man.
All right, see you, dude. I love that guy. He's been one of the one of our favorite people who joins us just about every
Since the
Wednesday,
beginning.
and you know, kind of like growing with us as not even just him, but it's everybody that pops up on the live shows and supports in any kind of way. It's crazy the amount of support that we do get on this journey, and I wonder if it's almost divinely inspired, because it's kind of like, you know, if you're vibing the right way, then your tribe will find you kind of deal. And that's really how I feel, because every person that listens to the show and interacts with us, or guests that we get on, it's like, it was always meant to be this way. Like, it just feels like home, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's the way I've been looking at things. This morning I woke up and I just felt like I had a dream or something, like a certain kind of knowing, as if I didn't already feel like I understood this, but it was more of like an absolute understanding of, as far as like my experience, and like there's me and then there's what's going on around me, and that is my reality, right? And so it's like this, and I've said it before, but it's like that dance that you're having with reality, and it's, instead of it's happening to you and you don't know what to do and whatever, it's like you're actually putting your mind out there and it's actually working for you, dude. And I felt so sure of it. Like, absolutely, like nobody could tell me different.
Dude.
You know, like I must have had a dream, or I don't really know. Maybe it was a download, whatever you want to call it, but it was an absolute like knowing of like, oh, you're in charge.
It's like a knowing,
you know?
in every fiber of your being, right? Like that was meant to happen. That's the right thing. You just fucking know. Like there's no arguments about it. Like,
yeah, almost hard to put to words. When I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, like I just knew it. I just knew that, like, oh, I can actually just kind of put energy out there, or intention, or a thought, or speak some words, and like this thing is just going to give me some feedback, you know, and it's just going to go back and forth, and it's this divine dance, or whatever you want to call it, man. But I just knew it.
It's malleable,
and maybe that's what you know, some of these entities are. You know, if everything is everything, and you know, just the energy of wisdom and all of this would be Odin, you know, but it's part of this reality. You know, it has to be for people, you know, to be getting results like this. It's no coincidence.
Oh,
I don't believe that.
100%. Yeah. And I think that it's just about like connecting your consciousness or your awareness to the unseen, and just, I don't even want to say, I guess, kind of like having faith that it is there, knowing that it is there, you know, almost like an avatar. You're just taking your little tail and you're plugging it into the fucking matrix and saying, I'm playing now. I'm lucid up in this game. So let's really get weird. And I mean, hey, dude, you can call on Odin, you can call on the Baphomet, call on whoever the fuck you want, and it'll just weirdly happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And like Mikhail was saying, as far as like, oh, you know, it kind of went away for a little bit. I mean, I feel like it can be elusive. But then after you had some of your experiences, all of a sudden your awareness went back to it. It never went anywhere. It was just a matter of you knowing and remembering, oh yeah, that's a thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's what, yeah, dude, that's it. Yes.
Actually, I'll add on that if that's okay.
Of course.
I 100% agree with that. It kind of lies dormant for a little while. Sometimes you can kind of forget your own magic, I suppose, forget how to use it. Yeah. When I first kind of started delving back into the infernal again, as they started coming in, actually, if you like, we can speak on that later. But I had an amazing experience with Lucifer coming into me and talking with me just before I finished up path working with Odin.
The Lightbringer.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's fucking amazing. Like they all are. Every spirit to work with that you connect with is just, oh, dude, like there's no words to describe what they can do for you and what you can do for them too. Like it goes both ways.
Probably surprises you at times, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, fuck yeah, it does. But it's awesome when it happens, you know, and they're like, hey, man, you're like, we've done this for you. Can you kind of, you know, this person's a piece of shit. Can you curse this motherfucker? You're like, yeah, done. Yeah, 100%.
I was just getting ready to ask you, like, because you said that they ask you to do things for them as well. So it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship at that point, and scratching each other's back kind of deal. Are there offerings or sacrifices or Anything like that you kind of do for them that they ask for?
Yeah, man. Sometimes I'll I'll get a download of an image of something that they want on the altar, so I might make it. I've got a few tattoo clients that have got a farm, like farms and stuff like that. They'll come and visit me to get tattooed, and they'll bring me like skulls and bones and things like that. And then most of the time it's Pazuzu who's like, I want that. I want it. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to make something out of it for you. I'll make a fucking incense burner for you. And, if I light the incense and offer it to him, not in that bowl or in that burner that I made for him, he won't take it. But if I offer it to him in the bowl, you can actually see the smoke get like sucked up and pulled into his idol.
Oh my God, dude!
I think you did it right when you see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. I get the same with Beelzebub. This is his altar here. If you want to see.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Damn, what an altar.
I've got so much stuff on there. What's that?
That's a crazy altar. I love it.
Cheers, man. I've got Lucifer behind me. Hang on, let's take a look if you like. All right, so we've got Lucifer there. We've got Pazuzu right next to him.
All of these are individual altars set up in this one room.
Oh my God.
Yes,
dude.
yes, sir. This is the room I tattoo in every day as well.
Wow.
So I'll get people with a lot of like illnesses come in, man. They'll leave feeling amazing. Headaches gone, like pain's gone, or tell them to book a ritual with me, things like that. Decarabias is here as well. He is brilliant. And then we've got Baphomet's in front of me.
I just imagine your clients coming in for a tattoo and being like, "Oh, he's just a little punkish," and just like looking at your
edgy.
stuff. And meanwhile, you're like,
something like that,
I brought you here with the power of Odin. It's like crazy.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. He's edgy.
It's cool, man. They kind of showed me this. I had ideas of having a tattoo shop a long time ago, but gearing that towards like the ancient rites of tattooing. You got to earn it. Like tattooing is a very sacred thing in many cultures. So it's something to be earned, and it was going to be like based around that kind of tribal aspect of that. But they're like, no, that's shit. Let's do this, and they pretty much just started making me make a temple. So before I knew it, all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I've got a black magic temple, and this is what I'm doing. Like, yep, cool.
That's awesome, dude. How long have you been tattooing, man?
Almost 18 years.
Holy shit! Good shit, dude.
Cheers, man.
Tattooing is not easy, dude. So for you to have your own shop and everything else, dude, that's some good shit, dude.
Sean's giving me
I dabble.
tattoos.
Yeah, I dabble. You know what I mean? It's definitely, I wouldn't say I'm a tattoo artist, you know what I mean? But I've been trying to learn, and I've done some of Jonathan. I've done quite a few tattoos, but you really got to go through the fire and really go and get an apprenticeship. I feel like to really, have somebody next to you that really knows what they're doing, because I can make mistakes, and it's just taken me so much longer to learn this way. I've done most of my tattoos like on my wife. You know what I mean? My best friends. Yep. And that's not like I'm like, hey, man, passing out business cards or anything, but like my closest family. You know what I mean? And so, but it's definitely not an easy thing to do, man. It's a lot of guts, definitely not for sure.
It takes it's like anything, bro. It's time and dedication. Like anything, any craft, any art. Yeah. It's time and dedication. Yeah. Hey, man, if you guys are interested, I'm more than happy to throw some lessons out and show you some cool stuff and techniques.
Great. That'd be great. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it just takes me so much longer to learn. It's not like I'm tattooing. If I was tattooing every day, it'd be different. You know what I mean? But usually it's like a month or two goes by, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like almost like trying to get back into the groove. Just and like also the permanence of this thing, don't fuck up. You know what I mean? And so not only are you creating something and you want it to come out so good, but I mean, if you mess up, you know what I mean? That sometimes you can, get around certain things, but like there are some tattoos you just can't mess up, or else it's just kind of fucked, right? Like you can only 100%. Make those lines so bold before it's not even the same tattoo. Right?
Yeah, man. It can only be so wide and so thick before that line becomes, just a A4 right. sheet of black paper on your leg or arm.
Yeah, no shit, dude, for sure.
Next thing you know, you're just drawing a pillar, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a
pretty
blackout now.
much. You're like, oh shit.
Right.
Let's just draw
Yeah,
up
dude, but
another
it's very-
one and we'll walk through the veil together. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
dude, I just
it,
wanted to
man.
give you some props on that, dude, because that is, like I said, it's very difficult. But like you said, it's just like anything else. Put time and energy into it, and you could, if you really want to do it, you could be successful. But anyways,
Well, that's it, man. Like anything doesn't matter what it is. If you want it, you'll make it happen. If you want it
Right.
bad enough.
yeah,
But
dude. Good shit.
yeah. Look, balancing both the ritual work pretty much every day and tattooing 7 days a week, it gets a bit much, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. You know, like, you just see it as a way to kind of make you stronger.
Right.
Make you
And I
better.
imagine people kind of know your style, or kind of, I mean, they walk into your shop and they see it right away. You know what I mean? I imagine a lot of people are asking for certain imagery, symbolic imagery, things like that. Like, is there anything as far as like, do you think that there's any kind of energy or any kind of extra protection by giving someone a tattoo of such symbolic power, I guess?
Oh, look, absolutely, man. Like I offer as a service, like ritual tattoos. So there'll be like a talisman channeled straight through me from a certain entity. No stencil, no drawing, nothing, just straight out of the machine.
Shit.
Wow.
And they do have insane properties, man. Like I have one lady, she's real cool. She's a regular. Set up. It's usually Baphomet, as he's a lord of talismanic magic. So usually he'll be the one that possesses me for it.
Interesting.
And it will come out so neat, bro. Like it's insane. It's like, that's not me. I can't take credit.
Just
It's like, that's him,
flow
you know?
state. Yeah, we were talking about this before, as far as like tattooing and magic. For some reason, we started talking about both of those things, and we were talking about like doing some sort of incantation like on the ink or whatever. We were just getting weird with it, but I imagine you've thought of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. Like sometimes I'll bless the ink, but because I'm setting up the whole temple, the altar, preparing the client, everything is just charged to the max. Actually, Byron had a really cool idea of like charging and locking in that charge on a radionics box and getting tattooed.
Right. Yeah, dude.
That's a really sick idea. That's what I was saying. If you guys are ever over in Sydney, I would love to tattoo you guys on the house.
Absolutely. That would be great, man. I imagine you
Just
look at the
thanks for the
tattoo, it just starts
opportunity.
floating above the skin. It's like, oh, you charged it too much, dude. You know what I mean? It's over.
Baphomet, calm down, dude. Jesus.
It's
Cool
just-
your jets,
just
all right?
like- just this glow that comes from the tattoo. Just, you know, fuck,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
that gets real. You know?
Oh, that's funny. No, it actually makes sense, you know, considering your practice and what you do for a living. They're both somewhat ritualistic. You know, when you do a tattoo and you're setting your station up, you do everything exactly the same way. You don't do things out of order. It has to be this, and then this, and then, you know, and so it's very kind of like setting up an altar almost in itself.
Look, absolutely. When I'm setting up, especially for the talismans, you know, I'll always have certain satanic chants playing, certain meditations playing.
Right.
That way the client gets pulled into that trance state, which allows the process to take effect better. But everything is like you said, everything is ritualistic. Everything is set up in that certain way. It has to be perfect.
Right.
Energy has to be off the walls every time. You know, that's how you get your result.
Absolutely. I mean, you're dealing with another human being, you know what I mean? And so you want them to be comfortable. You want, there's somewhat of a thing that happens between the two of you, you know what I mean? Almost spiritually anyways, you know what I mean? 'Cause you're giving someone a tattoo and they're getting a tattoo from you. So it's like this symbiotic relationship already right there. You know what I mean? And so there's something that
Absolutely. There's
happens.
definitely a convergence there. 100%.
Yeah, you want to take care of them. You want to make sure that they're good. You know what I mean? So that it's more than just some dude walking by. You know what I mean? You're literally taking care of this person.
Absolutely. Especially with that like demonic, that spiritual aspect in there too. You know, so you got to make sure they're feeling okay, that they're not having like visions that are crazy and pulling them all sorts of weird ways and things like that. You know, so
you're like, you can't turn back now. I'm already halfway in, man. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
I know
You
we're
got to
doing
get
this.
it.
You're just drawing a centaur and they just want to back out and they're like, I guess I can turn it into a fucking unicorn or something, dude. But that's all I
fuck
got.
yeah. Centaur corns, bro. I'm all about that. That's
perfect,
sick.
dude. That's
So I do have a question for you. So I know that I feel like we're living in a very strange time right now, because I think that there are a lot of people that are very open to kind of finding their own way spiritually, and some people may be pulled more towards the alien kind of spirituality, or the demonic spirituality, angelic, or maybe even just creating their own kind of entity, like much like we did to the great and powerful Marv, who is a green
Byron helped us with
translucent
that,
octopus. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
That's fucking sick.
but then you also got like people who I feel like are almost doubling down on religion. And to those people, what a lot of those people, and honestly, I'm actually, I've thought about this for a while, and I'm seeing it happen, like just happen like right before my eyes. I think that there's a lot of like, not even just Christian, but just Abrahamic craziness that is going on right now, whether it's Jewish, Christian, or Muslim. It is like people are all in, and they're almost extreme with it. I don't know if you've been seeing that, and I think that it's going to start to turn into like almost like a Abrahamic nationalism kind of deal, in some kind of way, and it's crazy, dude. But you know, those people would say, well, why would you even mess with demons or Baphomet or Beelzebub or Baal or Lucifer or any of these? You already know that they're the bad guys. You know that they lose in the end. What is your retort to something like that?
For myself, man, it's like it's not even about angels versus demons, because it's not. They work together. You know, you try and educate the person on like religious dogma over the spiritual side of things. You know, try and open them up and help them to understand that they are not inherently evil. You know, like Beelzebub was, you know, a god of healing and wealth before he was demonized. You know what I mean? You know, it's things like that.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of like ancient stories that go back way farther than even the Bible. You got to think the Bible was really started to get put together with all the different councils, starting with Council of Nicaea in around like the 300s. But even way before that, a lot of these gods already existed in other religions and other, you know, communities and stuff, and they applied certain attributes. And I have a feeling that you don't apply certain attributes to a god that you worship, especially if it's been in your community for God knows how long, if they don't have those attributes, right? So it's almost like doing a ritual. If you're trying to do a ritual to make a lot of money, maybe you just need to come up on some money because tax season's here and you're broke, right? It could be something like that. You would call upon somebody who specializes in that, and for some reason or another, it works. You know, it's just crazy how that works. But you know, I feel you what you're saying though, that they got demonized. They're all considered demons. They're all considered evil. They're all considered of the Dark Lord and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's so cut and dry. You know, like I think that the Roman Empire really did one over on the world, really.
Look, I think it's like this too, man. You know, like there's so much reality that comes from this. You know, this is more real than most of what people watch on TV and, you know, sports and fucking shit like that. You know, like that's cool, do your thing. But these practices, all spiritual practices, bro, yield results. It doesn't have to be black magic, you know, but they do yield results. And that's because these entities do exist. It's just how it is. Yeah, man. Like,
no, I believe that they look, if they didn't exist in some form or fashion, then people wouldn't be getting results from them. You know, because if it just doesn't work, people are going to forget about it. That's kind of the way I see it.
Well, that's it. And the whole demonization of these entities is because, well, it works. So if the whole world catches on to these practices being real, not being evil, not being as dark and scary as what people think, and actually yielding results that can ultimately destroy cancer from your body, bring you back, get you walking out of a wheelchair, replace organs overnight in a ritual, which has happened. You know what I mean? Like, if people come out admitting that it's real, that they're not evil, that this and that, everyone will be doing it, which means there's no need for doctors anymore. There's no need for big pharma. There's no need for a lot of things that the government will make a lot of money on.
Yeah, big
People,
facts.
they don't want you to wake up to your spirituality because it'll allow you to ascend and see past the bullshit. They want to keep you kind of calcified and not being able to see the real world, you know?
They
a lot of it. Oh, go ahead, dude.
Oh no, I was just gonna say they definitely want to keep you feeble and docile and have you heavily rely on the system, because you know, the more people that rely on the system, the bigger the system gets, the more overpowering and more controlling that it gets, and you know, and so it's in the, I don't know, the government's best interest, the elite's best interest, all of it really, that you do remain docile and you do keep on relying on the system and on the man, and you know, you're waiting on your government checks and all this other kind of shit. Like, I get it, who doesn't like free money? But at the same time, you're building that reliance like a kid to a father, you know, or a kid to a mother.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the individual as well. You know what I mean? We were talking earlier as far as like the entities that you use more often because they're more familiar. You know, and so I you know, aside of like the dogma or like the, you know, how it's starting to get a little political and it just becomes like this big hive mind of sorts, you know, I feel like it's up to the individual. You know, if the individual just has that one entity that they must worship and that's it. And, you know, I feel like that kind of, you know, maybe that cuts them off to kind of everything else that's possible, but to them it's comfortable, you know, and they feel safe. You know what I mean? Most people aren't looking to call upon Lucifer or something like that, you know, in their
100%.
spiritual life. And so I totally get it, you know, but I don't know. I feel like let's just going off of what the hive is saying rather than having your own experience and kind of moving with it. You know, you can go to church, I'm sure, and they have a nice thing to say or whatever, but it's kind of just a generalized thing. And so they want everyone to have that one experience. But I feel like we should all have our own like individual experience with kind of our own mind and just kind of everything outside of us. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if going with the hive and just agreeing with whatever a bunch of people are saying. You know, we have so many different people on here and everybody's got their own experience. And I feel like everybody is right when it comes to the experience that they're having. You know,
because
if someone says, oh,
it's theirs.
Exactly. Like you come on here and you're like, yeah, you know, Odin was telling me this. And so I did this and then that worked out. And I'm like, dude, I totally believe you. I absolutely believe that that's exactly what happened, you know, because that's your experience with it. Nobody can tell you otherwise.
Now, if Odin gave you a message for the rest of the world, I'd be questioning you a little bit. But if it's to apply to your personal life, man. You know?
Look, 100%, they'd be like, okay, I might need to have a scan or something, you know, like, find something going on. But yeah, like those individual messages, bro, like, yeah, we're all living our own lives in our own on our own spiritual paths, and what we're handed to us personally is it's purely our own. And like you were saying, man, people should have their own experiences. Like I could go on all day about how amazing the infernal have been for me and my business and my family and my friends, but someone else might try it and get fucking eaten, you know? Right. It really depends. It really depends.
It just might not resonate. You know, and maybe that has to do with them and what they're going through in the moment. You know, when you did it, it just happened to be the perfect time and everything was just like you just instantly went into that flow state. And so I think this is where we need to kind of be as far as like just being open-minded rather than like shunning somebody because they're talking about the adversary. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. But anything, you know what I mean? Like you should just, I don't know, dude. I think people should just do their own research and go towards whatever they feel, whatever spiritual path that is. If they feel going towards angels and working with them, man, go for it. Do it. You know, that's fucking awesome. If it's demons, cool. If it's like cultural entities, man, fuck yeah. You know, there's something to learn from everybody. And there's respect to be learnt from that too, because you will respect those other practices and the way others will do things and their own thoughts and visions.
It gives you a different respect for other cultures too, almost like doing like martial arts, you know, because when you do martial arts, you know, you're not just learning the martial art, you're also learning a language and a custom and all of that. But I think, you know, when you start working with like different spirit groups from different areas of the world, it just gives you a different appreciation, different connection with that.
Absolutely.
100%, man. I think it allows you to see more and learn more too as you kind of progress through those different paths, man.
Yeah, because just like anything else, you're gonna make mistakes. I think that's what happens. Someone makes a mistake in a particular practice or whatever, and they get scared, and then they don't know what to do. But it's like just like anything else in life, whether it's tattooing or whether it's doing a podcast or whatever, you're gonna make a mistake, but then you're going to learn from it. And I think that's what people are just so afraid to make mistakes, and that's kind of what keeps everybody stagnant.
Well, it's the people that are fueled by fear that end up with a lot of regrets at the end of their life. Because most regrets come from not what you did, but what you didn't do. It's typically along those lines. So I was just thinking, and maybe this is a strange thought, but I think that so one thing that we meditate every episode, right? Like at the end of every episode, we always like to do a meditation. It's always something different, whether we're doing the Gateway tapes or if we're fucking meditating ourselves into leprechaun land. Like we just get weird, right? But one thing that we have learned through meditation is that your thoughts aren't your own. That all you are is the awareness that is observing those thoughts. So whenever you do come in contact with, Odin or Baphomet or any of these things, I would imagine that obviously like your typical thought pattern is going to change a little bit. And it's maybe it's a little bit more subtle, maybe it's a little bit more noticeable. But if you're not your thoughts, then I feel like if you're calling upon somebody and that somebody somehow, and you kind of just expect that person to come once they're called upon, because that's the arrangement that you guys have, that, it'd be pretty, to me, I think that everything is my mind. I just assume that it's just higher levels and higher dimensions of my own mind, fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional, higher self kind of shit. But if you're calling on a specific entity and you know that these thoughts are definitely not yours because you don't think that way, that's the way that you discern in your own mind, right? I just like getting into the psyche a little bit.
Look, yeah, that's definitely one way. And then it's like the physical manifestations or the physical signs that will come with it too. And you go, okay, if you're sitting in there, you're receiving these downloads or these messages, and you're like, no, I think that's me. No, it's a retarded day. I'm just thinking weird shit. And then you get something that will slap you across the face going, no, it's me. It's not you. I'm fucking telling you something. And you're like, yep, sorry. Yes. Yeah, I'll listen.
I imagine a lesser mind would become a little schizophrenic to that, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like this, these paths, man, they're not for everybody. They're not for the weak of mind or the body, or emotionally. There's a lot that needs to go into any kind of magical practice, because you have to discern between yourself and that entity or entities if you're working with multiple. And the visions that come with it, or the torture that can come with it sometimes, if they're putting you in a lesson or wanting you to learn something or anything like that, people can absolutely snap and go crazy.
Yeah, that being said, like, because we were talking about like learning lessons and you're gonna make mistakes or whatever. Have you ever summoned something or called on a certain entity and maybe you didn't do the offering right, or was there anything like that happened that kind of like scared you a little bit?
Look, man, pretty much every time I start working with someone new, I shit myself because I don't know what the fuck I'm in for.
The unknown, man.
Oh yeah, man. There's been some like you're just like, oh shit, fuck. Like, do I do this? Do I not? You're like, you know what? They're in my path. I'm gonna do it. And if I get fucked up, well, I get fucked up.
Right.
It's kind of one of those things. As for offerings and like making mistakes that way. Yeah, I've kind of fucked up here and there, or may have said the wrong thing, or kind of not been 100% in myself. And that's where they get the shits, I feel, more than anything, is where I'm not confident, or if I'm not 100% in myself about what I'm doing. And they're kind of like, boy, grow a set. Like, this is what you're doing. Right. But if anything's bad, man, they'll be like, no, I want an offering. Or you set up your ritual, you go into ritual with that entity, and apologize, give some blood, write a petition, bleed on their sigil. It's the highest thing you can give to them. is blood, you know. So it's like, well, here, have a fuckload of it. I'm really, really sorry. Can we move on and still be friends, you know? And most of the time it's, yeah, you're a dickhead, but yeah.
Just that life force with the blood. And that's, you know, I had a really hard time understanding what would an extra dimensional entity want to do with a third dimensional substance, you know, and that it took me a while to really wrap my mind around that. But I think that, you know, our dude, and I don't know, I don't really know what to think about this, but I think that obviously DNA and, you know, your what blood type you are, I would imagine there's different kind of shit, but then you also got the ancestral stuff that is linked to your blood, and honestly, like it's literally lifeblood. Like without it, we would die. So do you think that it's almost like an energetic transfer every time that you give blood to these deities?
Absolutely. It's 100% a transfer of energy, you know. And I think it's also the symbolism of that, like you giving your life force to that entity. Like I'm giving you what keeps me running. I'm giving you what keeps me breathing. You know, to me, that's like ultimate respect of that entity, that deity. You know, it's like, here, drink of what keeps me living.
Do you think that it is more pure? Like if your blood is more pure, maybe you've been fasting, maybe you decided not to smoke weed or drink any alcohol, or you decided to go vegetarian for a week. Do they appreciate that clean blood a little bit more than, say, the blood that is a little bit diluted with vodka?
Oh, look, absolutely, man. If you're drinking beforehand, you know, you're going to be pretty open to some pretty fucked up experiences in the ritual, I would say, too. Most of the time, look, I'll smoke weed before a rite. Coming from like a little bit of the shamanic practices too, I'll bless and consecrate all my weed and give that as an offering to the spirits as well. Not all of them like it, but most of them in this temple do. But I feel, obviously, the cleaner you live, man, the better you live, the more that blood's going to be consumed and the more it's worth. But if you're living like really, really badly, they'll kind of smack you upside the head and be like, no, you got to clean yourself up. They seem to be invested.
I kind of figured that it was something to do with maybe the more pure blood, because you hear like the ancient stories about, you know, blood from a virgin or something like that. And it's because, you know, at least to them, it's, you know, untainted or whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of like even some of the Abrahamic thinking, you know, kind of coming into that mindset and making it seem that way as well. Yeah. Look, obviously, the cleaner you are, the better your blood's going to be, the better quality of everything. But man, if you drink here and there, have a smoke here and there, you eating meat or whatever, you're still pretty good. You know? Well,
especially if some of the old gods were known to be drinkers, like Thor and Odin. Like, they're like, dude, fill me up right now, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I do want to get over to the chat here just for a second. And I also want to say that, you know, whenever we have guests for these live shows, everybody that is in here, feel free to ask our guests a question or either one of us a question. You know, we want you guys to be able to interject your thoughts and if you have questions out there too. And by the way, just because you're interested in this kind of stuff does not mean that you're all of a sudden worshiping the Dark Lord. So don't take it that way. It's out of a genuine curiosity and no judgment. It's just about like, I just want to know how it works. That's the way my mind works. But
yeah, for sure, man.
We were 14 minutes in and Pete was like, this live is already fire.
Fuck yeah.
Pete said, Sean, you are an artist, man, because you were saying that I'm not a real tattoo artist.
I appreciate that. I just feel like I haven't gone through all of the, you know, like the full process. You know, there's definitely some, I can't think of the word right now, but like a discipline. You know, it's a discipline.
100%.
Like I said, man. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, man, after this, if you guys want to give me a follow on my Instagram, we can definitely go over those things. I'm more than happy to give some pointers and some things that will help with the tattooing and hopefully get you where you want to go.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Get you creating some sigils up in here, Sean. Bring the gods to life.
Oh, shit.
Actually, I've got one on top of my head, man, that was given to me, which I got tattooed. That's been fucking gnarly. Um,
I,
so
Chakra,
they
dude.
I would imagine
that?
that hurts like a motherfucker getting tattooed on
I
your
can
skull
imagine.
like that, huh?
yeah, it was 9.5 hours, man. That was shit.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sucked.
It was one of the worst things
I
I've
won't
ever
lie, bro. I'll
experienced.
tell you 100%. That sucked balls, man.
I
Like,
can
that was not
imagine.
fun.
Just feeling your skull vibrating, you know?
That's not the worst part. It just feels like fucking glass through your skin, man, because it's so fine.
Right.
And it is a sigil, you know, so that shit gets pretty fine and detailed. And yeah, thin lines, bro. They slice, they dice.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't feel nice.
The Kabbalah King says tattoos are definitely partially a blood ritual. I could see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Benjamin said, I'm sure we've all been demonized by somebody that doesn't like us as an individual, thinking about talking about demonization and, you know, the old gods and whatnot. But yeah, dude, I think that everybody has at some point or multiple points in their lives have been demonized. And so that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, you're probably a bad guy in somebody's story.
Oh,
Always.
I know
always,
I
right?
am for sure. Multiple stories. Especially with this podcast. Oh, dude, I get shit on 24/7 by religious folk. That's just I've just become accustomed to
part
it.
of the territory.
Yeah.
It's fun though sometimes being hammered by the religious people because you're like, well, I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to use it. Thank you. I'm a silly motherfucker. Thank you. Like,
yeah, I just love whenever they look at you and be like, oh, someday you'll get it. Someday.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. My minuscule mind cannot perceive the magic powers of which you believe in, but okay.
oh shit.
People here in Utah are pretty intense, man. I've gotten judged buying coffee here, you know, where I could just
even
feel
buy
the
coffee?
person. Oh yeah, I could just feel the person like, he's going to hell. Too bad. You seem like a nice guy.
I can imagine
you're
that
like-
being kind of I can't think of the word, but like just knowing that certain people, like at least in your belief system, not saying you are, but just in their belief system, they just know certain people are going to hell. Like I feel like that would be kind of I don't know. I think that'd be a pain in the ass to kind of have to carry that.
It's a
you know, or if
dirty
someone
feeling.
passes, you're like, oh, I wonder if they went to hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like something that would benefit me.
Wonder if they repented before they died.
Yeah.
When my uncle in Virginia passed away, someone I forgot who it was, but someone called my mom and asked something about if he repented or whatever, or if he was saved. And yeah, I don't think my mom did verbally abuse the person for it, but I think she wanted to.
Bro, I don't even think that
That's
most
awesome.
people understand what repent means. Because I know that
Yeah.
whenever we looked it up and you look at the etymology of the root word, you know, it all comes from the Greek term is metanoia. Metanoia literally means to change your mind. That is what repent is just to change your mind. So I've changed my mind 1,000 times. You know, I've repented a
And I'm
lot,
going
I
to
guess.
continue to change my mind.
Yeah. It's almost like maybe you need to repent. How about you change your mind?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
How often
You know,
have
it's
you
like-
changed your mind?
like right now, and I think it's going to ramp up over the next 3 years of this regime. But you know, I think the Abrahamic thing is going to keep ramping up for a little bit, and it's kind of unfortunate because you know 2016, 2017, 2018, people were like leaving religion in droves and finding magic, and
Yep.
now you're kind of seeing the opposite.
The Kabbalah King said, has anyone invoked a quote unquote demonic entity and asked about their point of view in regards to the book of Revelations? And if not, Jonathan, you should do a deep dive into the esoteric meaning of that book. There's a chapter in regards to in regards to Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings book. Oh, I do have that book, so
Okay.
I'll take a look into it. But yeah, just to get to the first part of the question, has anyone invoked a demonic entity and asked about their point of view in regards to the book of Revelations?
I have not, but it sounds interesting, and I kind of want to do it now.
Yeah, same here. I do ask them about their nature and stuff, and you know, and the word demon and stuff, and all the ones I've asked said that the word jinn better describes them than demon. But
Mhm.
but that's like that's like about it for me, you know, like. And then I ask like if they're like operating, or you know, like outside of creation in any way, like because you also the other thing that you're hearing, like these entities are like at war with creation, and And to me, it seems like they were, it's the same way that like every animal has a purpose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
you know
were
what's
created.
absolutely.
They're created for a purpose, and and it seems like especially with the goetic demons, they're so eager to serve the magician. It's insane, Like I don't think I've
They
ever had
really
one
are,
say
man.
no,
Yeah, like they really, man, if you call them, they really do want to help you. Like
Yeah.
they really seem to be invested in our progression, man, and our ascension in all ways possible. They really seem to be more than like I've found in my personal experience anyway, they've been more willing and wanting that and more invested in that than other spirits. Yeah, man. Yeah.
interesting. And
I wonder why that is.
So-
why they would even want to help.
I feel we have a lot closer of a connection with the infernal divine than what we know. There's a relation there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That we don't know about yet. It's like they want us to remember something. It's like they're trying to get us to remember who we are or know who we are. Yeah, man. If you think about it, everyone's got that divine spark. Everyone's got some kind of portion of the black flame, which is all connected to Satan. So we have that infernal spark, So we have to have something to do with them for them to want to help us so much and be so invested in our ascension.
Right.
I also think
if everything is everything, it kind of makes sense.
all working together.
Yeah.
I also think we're helping their evolution too, because you hear a lot of stories about the Goetia back in the day and people having like adverse reactions to it, but there were a lot of blinders back then. People were trying to bind the demon and curse its name and doing all these just terrible ideas. But it seems like modern magicians don't have any of those issues that you would read about 100 years ago. So I almost wonder if like this new wave of occultism that came, especially like post-internet, when like left-hand path really started becoming more accessible, it seems like they're a lot more user-friendly than they probably were 100, 200 years ago.
The system's definitely changed.
Yeah, totally. It's changed a lot.
Like you were saying, like people aren't really trying to bind the demon anymore. They're not cursing the demon. There's less kind of Solomonic practices I've noticed. Not as many people practicing goetic work or any demonic magic with the system of Solomon, which is that system is so disrespectful to that spirit because you're forcing it and telling it to do something, not, hey man, can you do this for me in exchange for this?
Work with you, right?
Oh, and just
imagine, exactly.
And just imagine the names that we attribute, or not we, but the reality has attributed to them. Demons is always some little red figure that is just a spawn of the worst place that you can even imagine, from the worst guy that you can even imagine, and that's why we've done shows on the etymology of the word demon and the etymology of the word jinn, and going back to see when did that come about? Like, when did people start calling these entities demons and jinn and just negative, attaching negativity to them? And what we found is that actually the etymology of the word demon goes back to Daemon, or it's still pronounced demon, I think, but it looks like Daemon, right? Daemon. And once you find out what that is really all about, it's almost identical to what the root word of the etymology of the word jinn is, that goes back to genius. And you go back to Roman emperors, that you would have cults that would form around Roman emperors that would be worshiping these Roman emperors' genius. And that got turned into jinn and then into genie, and it got bastardized and it got demonized. But if we just kept the same original meaning, what they were originally trying to apply to it, I don't know, maybe we wouldn't be living in fear. We wouldn't be like, oh, he's practicing black magic. It's just like,
right.
Look, absolutely. And I feel that, again, that comes from that comes from those Abrahamic sects. You know what I mean? Like, they're the ones that really demonize these practices. Well, before that, you look at Sumeria, like they were all about it. You know what I mean? They're all practicing.
Mesopotamia, yep.
Yeah, exactly. Every ancient culture was practicing some form of magic. And they had their forms of black magic, and they had their own demons and things like that. And demons always seem to be teachers. You know, they always seem to not serve you, but teach you something. They'll give you shit, but they're teaching you how to do things. You know?
Yeah,
sounds like a bad mushroom trip. You know what I mean? You might not get what you prefer, but you're gonna learn something.
You're like Burning Man.
but
It's not the burn that you wanted, but it's the burn that you needed.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it is pretty strange. And I mean, what a great job the demons are doing at pushing all the Christians into Christianity anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, at least from
Good
what
on them, dude.
That's
You
what
know,
I'm saying.
God
It's
willing.
like, you know, why is the devil doing everything in his power to push people into Christianity? It doesn't make any damn sense. Like, if you look at it through that lens, it doesn't make any sense. You know,
That's a good way to look at psyops too, through that lens. What you just said.
Agreed.
You know.
Yeah. There's always, it's the Hegelian dialect with the problem, reaction, solution, right? And it's just the strange world that we find ourselves in. And just going back to what we were talking about, as far as just people becoming almost deluded and docile and sedated by you know, mainstream media or big pharma or the government or whatever. People have lost their ability to think for themselves, because if they actually, you know, cared about their ability to think for themselves, then you'd be able to, you know, put two and two together and, you know, get a cork board with some yarn and be like, wait, this and this is all connected. And how did I not see this before? Well, it's because, you know, your teacher told you so, or your politician told you so, or your pastor told you so. And what they say is literally the word of God. So
imagine you get an intuitive hit or something that a thought that doesn't feel like your own, but really it's your genius, right? But you're unfamiliar with what that would even feel like or sound like, or, you know, and all of a sudden you're just like, well, that's a demon, so I better not even listen to what that thing just said. And for all you know, this was like the best information you could have gotten. You know what I mean? What a way to keep people really locked in, I think. It's genius,
the whole point
really.
at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. Seems to be.
Yeah, it's
well, that's it, man. You keep the population down, you keep them controlled, you know, you keep them in fear. They're not going to go looking for anything else but your government handout.
Yeah. Well, that's why they're handing it out to, you know, everybody to invite them into certain countries. Hey, you know, here's free hotel stay. Here's all the free food you can get. And here's a paycheck. You know what? We just want to show our thanks and our appreciation for you just stepping foot on our soil. And we're going to give you way more than we even give our own citizens. Like, if that doesn't look like a trap from the outside, like, how do you not put that together? You know, so
dude, what I find very interesting too is that, you know, if you are operating within the hive mind and you're being told kind of what to say and really kind of what to think, I think you become very predictable. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're planning something, let's say the elites or whatever adversary you want to put on that, it's like if you are believing and just repeating what everybody else is saying because that's what your group is saying, well, now whatever group you're in, whoever the bad guy is going to know your next move. They already know how you think. They told you how to think that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how I look at it whenever it comes to
like that mass
large groups
programming,
saying the same thing.
Oh, they turned the population into fucking checkers players is really what happened, dude.
Right. Dude.
You know?
Absolutely.
But Mikhail, I would really, because I don't know how much time we have left with you, but I'm really interested and curious about some of the practices and maybe a little bit of the rituals that you've done that have really wowed you. If you could share a couple of those stories.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you for asking too. So I'll just turn this down now. I've got some chants and stuff playing and I can't hear shit.
Chants in the background.
it's a whole vibe, you know.
It is, man.
It's just Marduk trying to set the scene, you know?
It is, man. He's fucking telling me things. I'm just like, no, you know?
Not now, damn it.
Yeah. God, Dad, you know, like, oh, shit. Actually, that one I did with Odin on the healing of my mum, it was crazy. Pretty much every ritual I do, man, I'm always like dumbfounded with the result. There's always something spectacular, and you're like, holy fuck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as he told me to like put her in the bath and do this healing, the cancer literally left her body and appeared on my altar on fire,
Oh,
just
what?
popping and burning and spitting. And yeah, this was before she went in for chemo.
Now,
And then
just before we go any farther, does she have to believe or even know the ritual that you're doing in order for it to work?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, man. This is what also makes black magic so powerful, I find, is that you don't need permission. People don't need to know. It doesn't work off faith. If you have more faith in it, it's definitely going to empower that right and push that ritual further, because you're adding that energy, that frequency, you know.
Right.
But nah, man. Like, I've cursed that many shitty people that have no belief in it, and then they get fucked up like a week, 2 weeks down the track. You know.
Yeah, those are the easiest people to mess up, dude. You know,
Yeah,
like,
man, it's so much fun. Like,
yeah, the atheist, materialist, scientism guys, by far the
absolutely.
easiest. You know.
Oh, hey, I'm happy
Absolutely.
to have
Actually-
y'all on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
No
you know,
shit. Like, hey, man, I've been starting to get fucked up lately. I don't know what's going on or what we did, but I feel a little fucked up.
Byron, what'd you do, man? What did we do to you? Just kidding. So you basically got a message from Odin that you were trying to find about how to get rid of your mom's cancer, and can you go into specifics with that?
yeah. Which part, man?
Well, just about
the-
first of all, like the first thing that kind of came into your mind. So you have this thought, right? And you're trying to connect with Odin. And so that thought of what to do for that ritual just came into your mind from him, and you proceeded to do it, and it just worked. Like magic, literally.
It just, yep, literally like magic. It just worked, bro. I had no idea what to do. Like, I've done some like shamanic physical healings before, like getting rid of like PCOS and stuff like that. That's not too hard. That's pretty all right. But cancer, man, that's like, yeah, I had no idea what to do. I just followed what I was told. And as I'm doing that, she's having visions of these hands coming into her chest and pulling things out. And as she actually had this vision of it, like coming in and scooping it out, boom, it appeared on my altar. It was just, yeah, like I said, just in a ball of fire, man. After that, you know, she hadn't even started chemotherapy yet. She went and got scans done, and after the scans before the chemo, they're just like it's like shrunk, like where is it? They kind of lost it.
Oh shit!
Unreal.
Yeah, man. She lost her hair during the first week of chemo. And I went straight to Odin. I was like, bring her hair back. You know, that's everything to her. She loves her hair. So I did that every day for about a month. And she started getting her hair back during the treatment.
Wow.
It's been like 2.5 years, and her hair's like almost down her ass, bro. Like, it's... she's here.
Too much,
She's
too
right
much.
here, actually.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
We own the business together, mind you. So she's
right
here
on.
at the moment. But
You have
Always,
beautiful
yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks to Eezhu.
I can't take the credit. That's Odin.
That's Odin right
that's
there.
Odin, you know.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
That's
dude.
crazy.
Well, that's awesome. You know, your mom's healthy, and there's nothing better, dude. Everybody needs their mama.
Dude.
Oh, look, absolutely, man. Like, we've pretty much, she's been the only person that's ever had my back my whole life, and same me to her, you know. So
Mhm.
I was not letting that fucking happen, bro. Absolutely not. That's my best friend. Like, nah.
I love it, dude. So, just out of curiosity, you know, because I know that I mean, who doesn't need a little extra cheese, right? But have you done any rituals? I'm sure you have, but can you share any kind of rituals that you've done for money, or who you've kind of called to for help with that?
Yeah, man. I've worked with quite a few different entities for wealth rights, and they all just pour in the coin, man. It's to the point where I can't actually keep up. So I kind of have to like let it run its course and burn out, because it burns me out that fucking hard.
Oh, dude.
But
You
Making
said
too
you were
much
working
money.
7 days a week over there in the shop, dude. So
yeah, man. So
That's good
like
shit.
ritual works anywhere from 4 to 5 days, and then tattooing is pretty much every single day.
Damn.
Wow. So it just starts to pour in. So I guess in your case, the customers are starting to pour in. Maybe they're starting to get a little bit bigger tattoos and more detailed kind of work that maybe you would have to charge a little bit more money for, and it just kind of works in that way.
It depends on which one, because I've got a few different wealth rights that I do offer. Like I have certain ones. If you have a business, I'll have a certain wealth right for that. That will bring in the honors, the dignity, and the wealth. So you get a good name, you get people following you, and you get that stream of clientele. Depends on what you need. If you need it fast, if you need it for your business, if you need it to come over time, it just depends on what the person needs. I also like to custom tailor shit. So I'll get the person to come in because the temple is open for people to visit. That way they can actually feel that energy and understand that it's not scary, it's not going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get the information, everything I need, and I'll go channel. And eventually I'll be given something that will work best for them. But for wealth, man, I will work very closely with Baphomet, Beelzebub. Pazuzu is fucking amazing for wealth. Holy shit.
Really?
I worked with him like probably 2-3 weeks ago. And wow. Like that day, phone calls were coming in, started up, walk-ins were coming in again. Just insane, man. We're pulling people from overseas now, which is cool. Yeah.
Sean,
Yeah, so it kind
Sean,
of-
do you wanna, maybe call on one of these individuals, bro?
I think we might have to, dude. I think we might have to. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Hey, man, I would love to perform a working for you, man. That would be awesome.
That would be sick.
That'd be great, dude. That'd be great.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's just so crazy, this reality we live in, dude. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, magic is real. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. I've gotten pretty used to the just understanding that. You know, it's like, oh, this is just part of it, man. Just
a real
a
thing.
piece of it.
Yeah. What a fun world. What a fun, like, video game reality that we find ourselves in. Because I feel like whenever we're young, like, man, we are like drawn to magic like a fly to a light. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the coolest thing, and that's the only thing you can think about, and you're just mesmerized. And then maybe you start practicing in the mirror, or you start saying prayers or whatever before you go to sleep, and then somewhere along the lines, we just like stopped believing in it. But a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people, they kept on going with it, and here we are today. It's because of people like you and people like Lord Byron who are kind of like helping bring the magic back, dude. And I love it.
Bring the magic back. That's a t-shirt, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
Make magic great again.
I think
well,
maybe not in real.
I think Santa Claus trauma plays a big role in people losing that interest in magic and spirituality in general.
Right.
I think, and so many atheists, dude, are like, what? So, do you believe in Santa Claus too?
I know.
Actually, I did.
I did
At one
too.
point,
And I think Santa Claus trauma plays a big role in it.
Same thing with the Tooth
you're
Fairy,
just like,
Easter Bunny,
Mm.
all of
Yeah.
it, really.
wow.
Dude, I remember when I was like second grade, man, just arguing with the older kids at school. Like, no, you don't even understand. So you're saying right now that my mom's in on this, my neighbor's mom's in on this, my grandma's in on this. You're not even making any sense.
Dude.
That's impossible. You're not even making any sense. And then to find out later, it's like, oh, well, I guess Santa Claus is like the first conspiracy for people, man.
Dude, we start off with an illusion, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they tell you that he's not real. Like magic isn't real.
Maybe Santa Claus is just Odin, bro.
Probably.
Yeah. Instead of eight-legged horse, has 8 reindeers, flying beasts, same thing.
Santa's got an eye patch.
Santa's cool now.
Yeah, he would look cool with an eye patch.
I think so.
Fuck yeah,
Yes.
Santa was in a
Very
knife fight,
Yeah, it would make sense because I believe that the Amanita muscaria mushroom comes from that part of the world. Right? The like the Norse part of the world, like Scandinavia and shit like that, right? I'm not 100% sure,
man.
but I think that's where at least a lot of the tales originate from. But yeah, man, that is awesome that you're having, and we've dabbled in some spell work. You know, we've done money spells and love spells and just dabbling just to see if we can be amazed. And dude, it works. And we're not even calling on anybody. We're just calling like, hey, we're gonna do this, and you know, we're not even doing it in the name of fucking Loki
got our
or
green
anything.
candle, and we're like, let's just stare into it and just see what happens.
We're just scry, yeah,
doing our own stuff.
Yeah, man. Well, that's all going to activate that pineal gland. It's all going to activate that magic that's already in there and increase that psychic power. You know, and so much of your, I feel like, spell work, obviously, it relies on that and it works off that energy and that psychic power.
Yeah, it's almost like an intuition enhancement just by even dabbling into it. You're not even learning. It's almost just like a remembering kind of thing. Because at least the energy of it. Now, maybe you don't remember, you know, drawing a sigil and putting a drop of blood on a piece of paper. I don't know. But there is some kind of energy to working with magic or doing some kind of spell work that just seems familiar. Like the space that you're in whenever you start the ritual seems like a familiar place. I don't even know how else to describe it.
Yeah, like you've been there before. It's a natural thing, and it's something that's just normal that you're just supposed to do. You know, like when you start setting up for your ritual or your spell, it's just natural. It just flows. It feels right, no matter what the path is, or the style of magic. You know, it just makes sense and it just feels right.
Yeah, absolutely. When we did the candle magic, you know, there was something about like, I don't know, maybe the first 10, 20 seconds into staring at the flame of a candle, dude, was just like, oh, there's definitely something to this. Like, it just looked different. Because you can look at a candle and go, okay, whatever. But when you're staring at it, dude, it almost like changes its dimension or something like that. Like it stands out somehow. It's really hard to explain, but I feel like that just opens that door of perception or whatever it is that we kind of closed up shop a long time ago when we were trying to grow up or whatever. It's like you get sent into that reality again.
Oh, dude, that fire, man, that just goes right through like your retina, and you're just taking that light in, and it's, you know, it's hypnotic, you know, and that's why they say it's really powerful thing to do, like scrying and that kind of stuff. It's because you're trying to almost like put your logical mind to the side and get more into that, you know, kind of creative, imaginative kind of mindset in order for a lot of this kind of stuff to work, because it doesn't logically make sense that, you know, you can do a spell and logically like a fucking ninth dimensional being is going to bless it. Like, it makes no logical damn sense at all. So you have to get into that other part of the mind, which I think why, you know, scrying and stuff like that works.
And I think that's why this morning when I woke up, that feeling that you're talking about, like, that's exactly what I felt. It was just a knowing that we're supposed to be working with it. You know, it's like, it's not you versus everything else. It's just you and it, and you choose to put your intention and energy and dude, it just works. Like, things will just start opening up. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a bag of money was just left on your doorstep. You got more clientele. Like, it happened in the way that it would.
That's right, man. You got to kind of leave your expectation at the door to let the spell, the ritual, or the entity do its job and bring it the way it wants to bring it, or how it's supposed to be brought. And it will always work out better that way, and the way it's meant to. It just falls into place. You know, you might have something in your head, you're like, okay, I need this money for this, and it's got to come in this way. And when it doesn't, when it falls together the right way, you're like, oh, that's so much better than what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. And I don't know exactly how it works, like physically, but I imagine that, you know, you do the spell work, and then all of a sudden there's like for in your case, you know, having a tattoo shop, almost creating this, like, just this energy of like noticeability. You know, all of a sudden you're getting more walk-ins. People are walking by and they're like, oh, look at this place. This looks interesting. Oh, it looks like he's got altars in there. I got to go in now. Like, it's just creating like this entire ambience almost.
Absolutely, man. Like, I'll paint some inscriptions around the shop, like on the walls and things like that, to say, bring in a certain kind of person or certain certain clientele that want certain things, and within a week or two, man, I'll get people coming in for more ritual work, or I get people coming in specifically for what I want to do, tattoo wise, you know, things like that. Yeah, it's all, you know, I've got inscriptions at the front of the shop to repel certain people and have certain people from my past not turn up. And man, I've heard about these people being in the area and they just disappear. They've just got no idea the place is here and they just can't find it.
Wow.
You're out of their existence now, or you're out of their bubble of reality, or whatever you want to call it.
It's like an invisibility cloak or something like that. You know?
Yeah, man, Harry Potter shit, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, look, I mean, if we end up working with you and this show grows to a crazy level, then I mean, what spirit should we thank for that? Like, what is the name of the one? What is the name of the entity or the god that you would be working? What is like what kind of god, or what's the name of the god that you would be working with to make that happen?
To grow the like the popularity of the show, or like to get that noticed more and things like that.
Yeah.
Probably Baphomet, Beelzebub, and Grammon. Grammon is familiar of Beelzebub. And when I was looking for the same thing, he didn't tell me Grammon, but a meditation in his sigil popped up while I was meditating that morning. I'm like, okay, I'll check this out. Read up on him. I'm like, oh, well, that fucking makes sense, doesn't it? So things like that, man. So most likely Baphomet, his influence is just otherworldly, man. Like the way he can influence a situation or people or push something out there is amazing. So it most likely be him, Beelzebub, and maybe even Pazuzu. Just depends on the final kind of edit, I suppose, of the ritual.
Well, just because I'm sure a lot of the listeners, including ourselves, have been brainwashed to some level. I mean, as far as working with demons and whatnot, and just not really garnering a great understanding like the both of y'all have. What is there any kind of level that we would be indebted to the entity that would be helping that?
Just your soul.
I get that a lot, actually, especially if I'm sorry, man. What was that?
Oh no, I was making a dumb joke. I was just like, oh, just your soul.
Sorry,
Don't worry about it. Just your soul.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to speak over you. Apologies.
No. That was your turn to talk. That's my bad. That's on me.
Awesome. No, no worries, man. I get that. Yeah, I get that question a lot, especially if I'm talking to somebody about an exorcism for them, curse removal, or like astral surgery. That's where they'll really ask those questions. But there's no real debt, man. Like, you know, if you want to light some incense and some candles for them at home every now and again, maybe like leave a piece of fruit for them and in their name and thank them every now and again, they're pretty happy, you know.
They don't
just
need
be
much.
grateful then. Right.
Yeah. Just like any person, man. You know, if someone does something for you, you do something back, you know, you start a decent relationship.
Right.
Wow.
And that's interesting too. You know, like there are certain moments in your life where you're just like, you have to take pause and go, man, I'm actually pretty grateful for where I am now. You know, and so really it's symbolically on top of doing the incense and the offering, but you're also taking that time for yourself as well to just kind of be grateful for
yeah, man. Being grateful is a massive thing, you know.
You ever find yourself like pouring one out for one of them? You know, just I don't know, maybe as an offering. Like with an offering, do you? I mean, I don't know if you do offerings like alcohol or food or cigars or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on what I'm told that they want. So sometimes I'll go buy some really nice cigars, especially, again, Beelzebub loves his cigars. He likes weed too, so, you know, I might bless a joint and light it and actually allow him to smoke it through me and then blow it into the idols and all over the altar.
Wow.
Or if he wants it, just put it in front of him, then I'll just put it in front of him.
Allow him to smoke it through you. That is awesome.
Man, I'll find if I offer like a fat joint to Beelzebub, and I was like, if you can, like, you know, I offer this unto thee. Please consume of this smoke through me. I won't feel the effects of it.
Interesting.
Wow. Oh my God.
Like Puff
So
pass,
some-
man. He just holds on to it so long.
Yeah, man.
Chief,
Yeah,
dude.
no, that's his, man. I'm not asking for that back. That's his.
Right.
It's not Puff give.
That is
That's
so wild. Byron,
Sometimes food. Sometimes I'll have my breakfast with him and things like that. So I might get something. We've got a corner shop just up the road, so I might come down with a burger or something if I've got a big day. And he loves burgers, so I'll offer him a burger. And if he tells me to burn it, then I'll put it in his gateway and I'll burn it off. Otherwise, he might want me to bleed on it and just put it in front of him, and I'll do the same thing. Just depends.
Oh my God. That is so, it's so wild having an extra dimensional almost type of relationship. And whenever you look at it through that lens, it makes a lot more sense. It is a give and take, just like how you said, somebody helps you out, you help them out. That's just the way, just a good way to maintain a relationship.
Yeah, it's just about being a good motherfucker. That's really what it's about,
I love it. Another t-shirt, dude.
Well,
you got all kinds of good ideas.
Well, and
I know, man. They're flowing, bro. They're flowing through me.
Well, and you being from Australia, I'm shocked that you haven't pulled out a cunt yet. But
I'm trying. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be polite.
I hear it's actually a term of endearment from Australia.
That is a. Look, for Aussies, yeah, that word is a massive term of endearment. If you're like, "Oh, oi, mate," that's a problem. You're gonna crack on. People are like, "Oi, cunt, what's going on?" That's your mate.
I love it, dude.
We're at a whole nother level of I'm swearing over here. It's.
I love it, dude. But Byron, I'm curious, brother. It's been probably like a month or so since we've talked to you. What have you been getting into lately, my good dude?
Well, in terms of Magick?
Yeah. Any new things going on?
Well, as far as radionics, I have some new stuff going on. But as far as Magick, just kind of keeping with my regular practice right now. Yeah. So I want to dive into the Norse pantheon pretty soon, and really deep dive into it with the giants and the trolls and do the whole left hand path side of it too. So
that's cool, man.
That's my plans. Yeah. But as far as
really cool.
as far as offerings go, if I'm indoors, usually just candles and incense, but everything's programmed with radionics. That's what I have that potentizer for. So it has a lot of clean energy in it. And then if I'm going outdoors, then I'll usually use a libation on top of the candles and incense and all that. Maybe some candy or something like fruit, whatever I have.
Oh yeah, dude. Everybody got a sweet tooth,
And then I make moonshine for offerings too.
Oh, they love their sweet stuff. They love it.
Oh yeah, it's so funny because when I was working with Papa Legba, hadn't ever worked with the Loa and stuff, and so I was working with Papa Legba, and I had some pretty decent offering. I got a libation, I got candles, I got incense. It's a lot of it. It should be pretty good. Everything's programmed with radionics, including the libation, and which works insanely well when you have even if it's just tea, I'll throw a little bit of Epsom salt in it just to kind of help it hold more of a charge, and program it for a week, and then go and do my ritual outside. And doing rituals outside on a full moon out in the desert is awesome because you don't have any trees anywhere, so you can just see for days. The whole everything's just so lit up. You can just see exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, and, I just saw that the next full moon is called a snow moon, and it's February 1st. So I figured that you might probably already know that.
Yeah. And when I was working with Papa Legba, he was very clear. He's like, candy. And I'm like, but I got all this other stuff. And he's like, candy. And I'm like, and I was like, dude, this is totally fine. He's like, no. Candy. I get it. I'm a Taurus. I like a snack. I eat a lot of snacks. so I was like, all right. I know what you're trying to say. I'll get some candy. So I got some candy.
They really have their specifics and the things they really enjoy consuming, don't they?
Yeah, and but that was the first time where he was where I worked with a spirit, and they were really adamant, I need this, and And it's not even like an expensive thing. I mean, I live right by a dollar store. You know, you can get a big bag of like Airheads because he likes fruity candy for $1. You know, $1.50 now. I think $1.25. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was
$1.25 now.
I know, some
yeah.
bullshit.
What's going
I know,
on?
dude. Everything's a hustle. But
That's actually really interesting, though, that both of you are like, yeah, they definitely like the sweets. You know, like,
Yeah.
is this like written in a book somewhere or some type of?
you know, I don't know about with Leg, but he was like, because I've never had a spirit be that adamant about something. Because usually it's like, okay, I got radionics, I got some blood, got some candles, got some incense, you
just
know,
laying around, like,
and they just be like that set on just like, I'm still gonna need that, bro. I appreciate it.
you got that Kit Kat. I'm gonna need you to give me a break,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
Hook me up with a
Find that.
Twizzler, bro.
Yeah, I get like that with Baphomet. He likes rum and raisin chocolate. So if I'm doing a certain kind of working, he'll ask me for that.
Wow, that is so crazy, dude.
So what
Just the
Byron's saying, yeah,
personalities.
it definitely it makes a lot of sense, and I
Yeah.
I can definitely concur. So.
Do you all right? So all of these demons and entities, just in general, do you because they take to like human stuff, blood or candy or alcohol or cigars? Like, do we believe that almost all of these entities, if not all of them, at one point in time did exist on Earth and did like satiate themselves with these things at one point?
Honestly, man, I have no idea on that. It's definitely a possibility that they've become such a crazy ascended level of mastery that they're a fucking ancient god. You know, it's possible. Anything really is possible when you're talking about magic, I suppose, and anything interdimensional. But yeah, look, it's definitely a possibility. Or they just really enjoy things that we have.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a non-temporal being, I imagine, you know, like eating a piece of watermelon on a sunny day would feel like, you know, for a non-temporal being, you know.
Yeah, it's an experience, like a human experience, that they're trying to have maybe through those kinds of things, possibly.
Yeah. But I definitely think a lot of spirits like we're never human. They don't really understand what it's like to be human. They experience these things through us and they learn from that. But yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of spirits that just and it really shows too because a lot of them don't have the same kind of pettiness that humans have.
This
You
is
know?
true,
I can
man. Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, that's strange. I just imagine like the demons conversing and be like, yo, Byron gave me a Reese's peanut butter cup. Have you heard of this shit? You know, like you gotta fucking start asking for this shit in your offerings. You gotta get a piece of that.
It's
You know?
chocolate and peanut butter. All right,
It's just two
crazy.
amazing worlds in one. You have to get this shit. Tell him you
Yeah.
want it. Like,
Yeah.
Tell him you need it. He'll just give it to you.
And
He'll even light some incense. It's magical. It's
yeah,
wonderful.
totally. And I love peanut butter cups. But you know, like with the moonshine, I think that makes a really powerful offering because I'm blessing the wash every time I handle it, every time I stir it, every time I check it. I bless it every time I do anything with it. I bless it as soon as it's made, and then I bless it again before I use it for whatever ritual I'm doing. And I think I noticed a big turnaround with that. You making moonshine, making your own alcohol, putting that energy into it throughout the whole process.
Oh, dude, just like anything else, whenever you make something yourself, you're putting that humanness or that divine of piece of you into that. That's your creation, and which is what we're here to do, dude. I really believe that. You know, everything you see, you look around was a thought first and was then created. You know, and so
Yeah.
that's what we're supposed to be
that's
doing.
right. It
man.
wasn't just there. It had to be
Yeah.
thought of. It had to be created. Something had to be
Exactly.
done. Yeah.
Yeah,
And all the old metaphysics talk about that. Everything begins with thought. You know, everything
Absolutely.
begins with imagination.
Yeah, like whenever I go to like a Goodwill or something, it doesn't matter. If I end up one day with a lot of money, I'm still probably going to go to Goodwill. I'm going to be honest with you
Fuck
because for some reason, you know, you go to Target and everything's plastic and it's just like mass produced, and I go to Goodwill and I find a cool carved, like handmade little box. I'm like, it's way cooler, and it's $2. You know what I mean? Something
I'm with
about
you on
something
that,
that's handmade is just so much cooler to me.
Oh,
Well, it's got that
definitely
energy
agree.
too, doesn't it? It's the craftsmanship. It's the time and energy that was spent by that craftsman making that item. You know, it's special. There's love in that. You know, it has that energy.
Right, which makes sense why a deity or why some entity rather would want something that you made. You know, you're putting your energy and time into that. It's not just something that's just laying around already. You know.
Yeah,
so
that's right. You know, the more kind of effort and even emotion, man, putting emotion into creating that thing for them is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
this is so awesome. I love all the information that both of you guys bring to the show. It is just so thought provoking and mind expanding, and just generally like an amazing curiosity to even learn about. So we appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us. Byron, we love you, brother. You're always just hooking us up with just the most awesome people to talk to. And you're obviously the man, dude. So we appreciate
I can't
that.
imagine not meeting Byron and not talking to all these other people as well that he's brought forward to us. It's like the teachers are just coming in droves.
Yeah, dude.
And then pretty much everything I'm doing right now started with you guys hitting me up for an interview. So it's kind of funny how that works out, Hey, have you ever heard of that band Fawn?
I don't think so.
They're like a Scandinavian band, very like folk kind of traditions. Some of the people will play like it's kind of like quasi instruments that are made with like human bones or like like anthropology stuff. But they made this one music video. And it's a really well-made video, but it shows this person when you're talking about like carved box and stuff, and we're just talking about offerings. But it shows like this chick, she's like kind of buff, and she carves like this idol, and then takes this idol like on her back and goes up this huge mountain. The entire video is basically making an offering to some deity, and then burns the idol in a sacrificial flame for that deity, and the whole song is about the giving and taking aspect of like sacrifice. But it's a really awesome music video. It's really powerful.
They just don't make music like that
send
anymore.
me the link to that, man?
Yeah, if I could. Yeah. I think it's a new video too. I think it's only a couple years old.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Awesome. Because that sounds fucking amazing, man.
Fawn is an awesome band. I think it's Fawn that made that video, because there's a few of these Scandinavian bands that do a little folk music,
Oh, they do it well too, man. They're cool.
Yeah.
Definitely going to add that to the shop playlist. Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, every episode we like to do a tarot reading. Sean, did you pull one yet, my good man?
Yes, dude, and you're not even going to believe me when I tell you that we got the devil card.
No way!
I was like, oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course, which I used to kind of get a little nervous, pulling the devil card or the death card rather, and it's like, now I'm like, okay. Like I'm already starting to see kind of like they're not bad cards.
Right. Yeah. We've done a lot of episodes into the symbolism and the deeper understanding of what each image on the tarot actually means. And man, how enlightening that was, because we've been playing around with tarot for a few years now, but to be able to go into that depth, I mean, I think that the devil kind of speaks for itself, on the card. But just out of curiosity, did that come out reversed or right side up?
I believe it was right side up. But I think it's very interesting, though, because we were talking earlier about, people that are so locked into kind of what they
being enslaved,
see.
right?
Right, yeah. And so they're like in the chains because they're not even aware of their full potential.
Well, that's it, and like I see Satan as that potential. He is that potential that can unlock that within you. He will show you your chains and how to get out of them. That's how I see that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
very well.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And you guys are also not going to believe me about the synchronicity that I had today, because I was sitting in my car, I was driving home, and I was like, I just need a little sign, and I looked over to this way. I was like, I don't see anything. And I looked over here and there was a car, and the license plate was one of those, because here we have license plates for the Phoenix Science Center. And so it's all like matrixed out. There's like a bunch of ones and zeros, right? But what it said was, it just said Satan. I was like, well, I don't know if that was the sign I was looking for, but now it's starting to make sense.
It makes sense.
I'm starting to see why I saw that today.
That is
Awesome.
crazy.
Not to be
I'll take
just
it.
scared of shit, you know what I mean? Just because of your preconceived notion of what people taught you, or, you know. Anyways, let's get to the meaning.
All right, so the devil shows us the places in our lives where we are chained to self-sabotage. Through this understanding, we set ourselves free. The devil is another card that is often misunderstood and widely believed to be an ill omen. In truth, there is nothing to fear from the devil once his meaning is illuminated. The card depicts a literal devil that is partly human in appearance, but with horns, wings, and a beastly-looking lower half, symbolic of the things that we demonize or fear. A reversed pentagram crowns him, representing his connection to dark energy. Beneath the devil stands a man and a woman in chains who look almost identical to the lovers. Their state of being chained to the devil represents our addictions, self-sabotaging behaviors, unhealthy coping mechanisms, and fears. When we cultivate awareness and take responsibility for our actions, only then can we liberate ourselves from these chains. The devil card shows us where our internal misalignments lie.
Definitely makes sense.
It do. So the spiritual passage on it, it says, it may be time to examine toxic thought patterns and unhealthy coping mechanisms so you can get to the root cause of ongoing self-sabotage in order to free yourself. If what you are doing feels good in the moment, does it have negative after effects?
Yes, dude.
Wow.
So good.
Look at the devil
So good.
teaching us shit over here, dude.
I know, right? We get so locked into our own habits and our own ways of looking at things, man. It can be hard to see through it at times. You know, your subconscious mind and just a number of things that are happening all at once. You know, it really constructs this illusion. You know, this illusion of separation, even. And you know, as Optimistic said, everything is everything.
You in that illusion too.
Oh, absolutely, dude. It definitely can. I mean, because anything that you believe in and really invest in and put all your energy at, I mean, that's just your reality. I mean, there's no getting around. You can't put all your energy, time, and frequency into something and have it not be your reality. I mean,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so if
Absolutely.
you look at it that way, I mean, all this magic stuff actually makes a lot of sense. You know, because people put a lot of their time and energy into everything that scares them. Because, yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, maybe they're addicted to it. Maybe they have a victim mentality. I don't know what it is,
Well,
but
I think. Sorry to cut you
No, go
off, but I think a lot of people have that victim mentality, man. I think being so used to that mentality and being a victim, man, it allows them to get the sympathy from people that they want. It allows them to keep in that narrative. It allows them to keep them down and downtrodden, which they kind of somewhat seem to enjoy.
it's familiar.
Yeah, there's a form of narcissism
Yeah,
with it.
that's it. Familiar patterns, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of things in magic that, and just even a lot of the things that we spoke on tonight that's really resonating. I think even outside of the realm of magic, just even of the psyche, things that you can do just in your daily life. You know, as you were saying, you put time and energy into something, it's going to grow. And of course, with magic, you summon an entity, you know, so now you've already locked in the psyche that this is going to work. And now all you got to do is do the offering, which is allowing you to remain grateful for the things that you're getting. And so now you're seeing results. And so because you're seeing results, you're going to continue putting all that energy and time into the passion or whatever it is, you know? And so
that's right. It reinforces that positive result, you know, and the positive, that feeling that you have through that ritual, you know, which is pretty positive most of the time. Like, sometimes it's not always that way. Sometimes it can get pretty fucking gnarly when you're in that circle, you know, or the triangle or whatever you sit in.
Yeah.
But generally it's even with the darker workings, I feel like it's pretty positive.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't even know what they want. And so for someone that's going to take a bunch of time and energy, whether you're meditating right before a rite, right? And you're thinking about the thing that you're really wanting to manifest or to happen within your life. So now you got the knowing of what you want to happen. Now you're putting time into setting up the altar. And I mean, your awareness of the reality that you want to see is so high at this point, it is now your reality. And so people say like, oh, vision boards are stupid, this and that. It's like, people know what they want. You know what I mean? They're actually thinking about what they want to see rather than life just kind of happening to them. And they're just like, well, you know, that's just how it goes. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And so, dude, Yeah, dude. I love
David Weiss has a crazy vision board story because he made a vision board. And one of the things he wanted in his vision board was to be CEO of his own company. He didn't even know what a CEO was. And
Just knew it sounded good.
And then like years later, he's CEO of a solar panel company. And it takes him a while to notice the way he kind of tells the story. And he's all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute. Every single thing on that vision board came true. All of it did.
Right. Yeah, it's that auto suggestion, keeping in whatever that is in your mind. Because as we've said, the whole spiritual understanding or just certain, whether it be magic, that can be elusive. But if you're constantly reminding yourself by seeing this thing, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I want to see in my life. So you continue to do the work and you're just constantly in that cycle of creating the thing that you want. And so
absolutely,
I'd rather be there than kind of just letting life happen to me and just, it is what it
fuck
is.
that. You're like, nah, I want to be in that constant state of flow, that constant state of being busy and moving towards those goals and having that like just burnt into your mind.
That's it, dude. The
so
dance
it's
with the
always
universe.
there. Yeah, absolutely.
Dance with it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Well, look, we appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us. This was so much fun, and we would love to
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to have you back again someday, brother. This was awesome.
Awesome, man. I would love to do that. So thank you very much for having me on and for the invite.
Absolutely.
Of course, dude.
And for our listeners, we used to call them the one, they're now the initiates. So for the initiates out there who are listening, where could they go and find you and your work, sir?
Most of it is on Instagram, man. Give me 1 sec. I don't really remember my Instagram name too well, so I'll just grab it.
I have it pulled up right here. Is it I don't know how to say it. Eezhu?
Eezhu, yeah. Look, man, that's it was a name that was given to me. Like it's a magical name. I kind of tried to dispel it for a while. Like, no, I'm just fucking going crazy to the point where I'd hear it on the wind, and then I'd watch someone else's ritual, and they whisper that word. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Say?
Yeah, dude. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm fucking running with that now, Mizu. So
yeah.
Wow, yeah. So it's Eezhu, EEZHU.1.11.33 is the Instagram handle.
Love it.
That's it. I am on private. So send me a request and I will accept it.
Awesome,
good,
man.
Dude.
Thank you.
Thank
Lord
you very
Byron,
much.
of course. Lord Byron, go ahead. I mean, if people don't know who the fuck you are now, man, but either way, maybe this is somebody's first time listening to you and they love your vibe, Byron. How do they come in contact with you and all your good work?
Yeah, my main YouTube channel is My Apotheosis, and then Instagram, Lord Byron Jester, all lowercase, all one word.
Perfect.
Good,
all right.
Fuck
well,
yeah.
I can imagine if this
Awesome.
if this is someone's first episode, dude. I'd be really, really happy about that.
yeah,
Dude, imagine someone
Really
tuning in
set the
for
tone.
Imagine someone tuning in for the first time with the JS episode,
Oh
learning about like
my
blood
God.
sacrifice and stuff.
Yeah, I think we even mentioned that. Like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, might have scared some
Fuck
people
yeah.
away. That's okay. You know what I mean? They're not ready yet. So
he's like, fuck them quails. I
one
need
day.
chickens. All right.
Yeah. and like one thing I want to say for the truthers out there that are like kind of prejudiced against the occult is that magic is the ultimate white pill. There is no white pill better than magic. So
right.
try to keep an open mind about it, guys.
Hell
Oh, look,
yeah.
Anyone can
absolutely.
do this stuff too. It's easy. Anyone can do this stuff. We're born
Mind
with
the
it.
weapon, keep it
100%.
loaded, man.
Yeah.
If it's something you want to do and if you love it, man, if you put your heart and soul into it, you can fucking do it. Doesn't matter if any beliefs prior to that, like anyone's able to do it.
Yeah. The trick is just getting started. Once you get started, the ball will get rolling, man. And then once you start connecting with your higher self and the spirit realm, everything's just going to start lining up for you, And part of that's going to be painful because you have a lot of baggage. You got people in your life that don't need to be in your life, and some of that's going to get brought to the surface and dealt with, so.
Yep.
Oh, look, man. Fuck yeah. I definitely experienced that.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
does. Everyone does, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, Sean, any parting words for you, good sir?
Oh man, this was such a fun episode. I love that you're a tattoo artist. That's even cooler to me that because I
Thank you,
already
man.
know. Sure, you've done it so much longer than I have, but I already I know a little bit. So I'm like, I know already kind of what you started out at, anyways, is what you went through and kind of the nerves and everything. The first time you tattoo someone, it's such a scary experience. You know what I mean? And so.
Oh, dude.
But
Yeah,
I
man,
really
like-
appreciate that you're a tattoo artist, and I just had a great time talking to you, both of you gentlemen, as always,
Awesome, man.
Byron. But yeah, thanks,
yeah, man.
Hell
You're welcome,
yeah.
man. Thank you very much. Definitely keen to give you some tips and stuff and see where we can help you out, bro.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Well,
Fuck
look,
yeah.
if anybody wants to be a part of this conversation and you're like, man, this was a live show, I could have been a fly on the wall. I could have even been, involved in the conversation. Yes,
Should
you
have raised your
absolutely-
hand and said something.
Dude, just butt right in.
knows?
Yeah, come on in
Yeah.
the conversation. That's why we do these live shows, so that we can, it's not just us that are hosts. We want everybody that is on Patreon to also be like co-hosts. And so if you want, if you're listening to these episodes, maybe you're for it, maybe you're against it, maybe you're neutral and just curious. Either way, you can give your 2 cents by just going over to patreon.com/metamystics. That link is down in the show notes below. We have several different tiers over there, but if you sign up for the Wonder Wiz Day tier, that'll give you access to the live show on top of everything that is included on all the other tiers, such as commercial free, all the videos, sliding into the DMs, and just being able to collaborate with people who are of like-minded curiosity and just all good things. Very welcoming over here. That being said, we're going to get over to the meditation here in just a bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much. This was a hell of a time, dude. I absolutely loved this. But as we always say, if Mikhail and Lord Byron came here and they taught you anything, it's that you don't know what you don't know. So don't just get weird.
Stay weird.
Just be weird. Fuck yeah.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, I think if you just get past all of the terrifying sounds, you know what I mean?
I think it's actually helpful to be able to meditate on scary kind of shit like that, and not allow fear to manifest. Because ultimately, anything that is scary is something that you are manifesting as a vibration within you, right? Like you're allowing that conversion to happen. Because no matter what is going on in the outside world, every single emotion and vibration and frequency that you that manifests within you has to go through the gatekeeper that is you. It's not necessarily like a contract, but kind of similar. You're signing an agreement allowing a certain emotion to enter inside of you. And so that's what they say. Even the Hindus will say that yo, I don't let anybody have any kind of effect on me emotionally whatsoever, whether it's, somebody praising me or somebody talking shit on me. It's I'm just neutral all the time, and I monitor the energies that are flowing in and out of me. You have no effect on that. And I think that that's actually a really powerful thing to learn. And so if you learn that and then you go through a meditation like this one where it's a little chanty, it sounds like it's some fucking, underground tunnel back alley shit where, there's probably
shady shit going on.
There's a burning barrel. I just imagine a burning barrel in there, and people dressed in cloaks with, I don't know, maybe not the best of intentions. That's just what I was imagining.
Can't see their face, you know what I mean? But they look over at you, you know what I mean? You're like, what are they doing? You're like, who knows? You know what I mean? They won't talk to me.
Yeah. I'm just like, all right, yeah, that's you. You do your thing.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is that, I think that it takes stuff like that for you to be able to strengthen your mind. Because if you're just meditating on 430, anybody can meditate on 432. That's an easy thing to meditate on, right? Or 963 or any of the, the good ones. but I think that it takes a strong mind to actually get something out of one that may elicit some kind of fear.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And when you're in those high stress situations or something that's genuinely causing you fear, like if you can just go back to that space, the space that you found during that meditation specifically, it's like, oh, okay, I got this. I have already transmuted something similar to this as far as the fear state. And so, yeah, dude, there's so much to gain, dude. I'm sure we can break that down further and further and garner so much from that. Just that one meditation.
I mean, most
dude,
initiation rituals are literally based upon you overcoming fear. Like all of them, they all require that. Even if you have to go 7 years without talking, like that probably elicits a little bit of a fear inside of you. Like, well, I won't be able to tell my daughter I love her. Like, you know what I mean? Or something like that. And all of them, and that's why whenever we covered the ancient baptisms and the death before death episode, it was all about scaring the absolute fuck out of you, because then whenever that happens, your body thinks that it's dying. It releases a bunch of chemicals. It gives you this DMT flood, and that is how you're able to communicate with fucking, divine beings or whatever. That's how they used to do it back in the day anyway.
Yeah, so awesome, dude. Like the world around you isn't changing, but the way that you operate in it or the way that you perceive it is just on such a higher level. Your baseline for what's acceptable or not acceptable. You know what I mean? It just kind of resets that. And so your entire reality is just so much better, man. I mean, I can only tell you, the one major experience that, that we had. Man, after that, man, everything after that was just the bonus round.
Easy.
It's like, holy shit. Like, and like I said, you were probably never, ever even close to like the biggest fear, at least in my experience of that night.
We didn't know that.
No, but in the experience that we were having, it seemed as though that was the case. And so everything after that, dude, to me, and it's probably very similar, to the rituals as far as the death and rebirth type rituals, man. I mean, man, my life has just been so much better, and it's not even that anything outside of me changed.
No,
I changed.
Yeah,
I grew. I became all of a sudden so much more grateful just for every day that comes. It's like, man, people wake up in the morning and I get it. We wake up and shit, I'm 10 minutes late. I got to get to work. I mean, we all got the regular physical shit that's going on, but fuck, I wake up and I just feel like, man, another day. Like I'm grateful, dude. And I know I've said that a couple times in this episode, but man, it's so underrated, man. Just being grateful.
Hey,
I know it's almost to the point where it sounds cheesy, but like, man, after that experience that we went through, it's hard not to be,
I know. Well, and then, I mean, you add some Baphomet in there, things might get even crazier.
Forget about it, all right? I was going to come back and have the voice change around, but I couldn't. I don't want to fuck it up. But I was going to be like, I feel strange. Which one is it, dude?
For some reason, I'm changing.
Oh, God,
got
I
a
love the
fucking
voice
dart
changer.
in your neck, dude.
Got a fucking dart. Let's see. Laura said, great show. I've been listening while getting the kids down, not able to interact too much. Interesting, weird stuff. Loving it. Yeah, I love these kind of shows because it's not necessarily our flavor. We're not necessarily doing shows on praising perceived demonic-like entities or whatever. But
right.
It is interesting to just come in to come into that kind of information and just to be able to think about it from a different perspective rather than just the bastardization way of looking at it and being scared of it and throwing holy water at it and judging everybody who even thinks like that. Like, that's not the way. That can't be the way.
Absolutely, dude. I think people need to just be more open about certain things. Now, certain things, of course, are that maybe it just scares the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Then just kind of stay away from that thing. Like, but I feel like we should be looking at life and different belief systems and cultures and just even going to another country, I feel like that would be scary the first time. You know, the culture would be just so different. It would be just such a culture shock to be in such a different place. But you know, we just need to be more open about things. You know, and I think that that's something that we can definitely gain from an episode like this one. And we've had many of them. And I think that, to me, I feel like that's the biggest thing that we can get from that. You know, instead of being such a one track mind, or just kind of so set in how you see the world. Because I know for a fact, at least in my experience, you know, I've had a certain understanding, or I thought a particular way about a certain topic or a certain thing, and then come to find out I'm totally wrong. You know, which is cool. I'm totally cool with being wrong, but it's like, before I learned or you know, found out that it was actually this and not that or whatever, my whole reality just was that. You know what I mean? And I can't even really think of anything specifically, but just I know that I've had experiences like that. And so when it comes to magic, or you know, baneful magic and all this stuff, it's like, look, we're just looking at it. We're also the students. We're trying to learn as much as we can about this reality, and for a fact, it's definitely a part of somebody's reality. Somebody's experiencing this energy, or somebody's experiencing the benefit of putting time and attention into something, setting up an altar, and then all of a sudden you get this thing telling you it wants candy. Like, that's just a thing that we know now is something that is real, at least to somebody, right? I mean, we can't tell anybody any different.
I mean, hey,
Kind of like a
everybody's
dream. It's an experience, right?
exactly. Everybody's experience is their experience.
Mhm.
You know, I was just thinking, you know, I ran a conspiracy podcast for like 5.5 years,
Yep.
and this show couldn't go over there. Like, there's no way. Like, an episode like this would I mean, people would literally say that we are helping out the bad guys or something. You're giving them a voice, kind of thing. But then I
Somehow
was,
we're sacrificing children or something. You know what I mean? Like, that would get brought up somehow. It's like, what?
that's what I'm
What are you
saying.
talking about?
So this wouldn't be welcomed, but you know, I was just thinking, like, but people love hearing about adrenochrome. People loved all the episodes that we did with the ex-satanic wizard.
Yep.
And it's just like, man, the things that get demonized and the things that don't are just amazing.
Mhm.
You know, it's just
Yeah, dude.
crazy.
You know, people, I think, become addicted to certain things that they don't like. Like, I know for a fact that there are Christians listening to this just out of curiosity, which is cool. I love that. You know what I mean? Just to see, you know, if some shit goes wrong, like the Metamystics guys. I don't know. They disappeared. No one ever heard from them again. And I don't want to speak that into existence, but I mean, there's definitely people probably just listening out of that pure curiosity. It's just the absolute opposite of what they believe in. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. And Pete said during that meditation, he goes, I thought to myself, how can I, a divine being, be afraid of other divine beings?
There you go. Everything is everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything is everything.
There's nothing higher or lower. It's all one thing.
Yes.
It's just one
yes.
thing, you know?
Yeah. We just like to try to separate things, you know?
It's not orange juice where all the pulp floats to the top or whatever, you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
not even like Kool-Aid, because that shit sifts down to the bottom. More like milk, I think. Or water.
Milk.
But yeah, and actually, we got a little bit of homework we got to do, because tomorrow we are doing a show, and we're going to be doing a show on The Truman Show, as a matter of fact. So I got to watch that movie either tonight or tomorrow, try and find some time, because we're going to be getting into the symbolism on that over on another podcast called The Occult Rejects. Absolutely love them. Had them on The Cult several times. The New York Patriot, his name is Nick. He's awesome. He used to be in the Ordo Templo Orientis. I always fuck that up. The OTO. And then yeah, it's going to be a fun time. So, but we're actually going to be posting that over here too, just to share it everywhere. So you guys will be able to hear that if you want. But yeah,
man,
fun times, dude.
That'll be fun. I love that movie. So that's going to be the funnest, or like the easiest research.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like the
Jim
best
Carrey,
homework.
Come on, man. Dude.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
man.
that. You ever seen that guy that, what's his name? Dave Portnoy. He goes around to like all the different pizza places and tries all their pizza and gives them all a grade.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Dude, Imagine that for a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just like, yo, this pizza sucked, or like, oh my god, this pizza is the best pizza I've ever had.
Yeah,
like, because there.
I feel like that's kind of what we're doing. You know what I mean? We're just kind of trying out all the different flavors and looking into all of the different. I don't even want to say levels, but just the flavors of reality. You know, yeah, all the different toppings and all the different teachers and people that just come on and you know and just enlighten us on kind of what their reality is. Man, I just find that. It's the best, dude.
Well, I think if tonight was a topping, it would be red pepper flakes. So,
with a Red Bull,
you
know what I mean?
With a Red Bull, yeah. So anyhow, guys, we love you, and we will see you next week with Santos fucking Bonacci.
Yeah,
we're getting weird.
Dude, that'll be fun. Looking forward to it, man. I hope I can keep up. You know?
I'll try to keep up too.
All right.
So anyhow, we love y'all, and we'll see you on the flip side.
I guess.
Imagine what would have happened if we hadn't attracted the magic we had back when we couldn't fathom. Life is a fantasy, not with the vanity, not the way it was back then. So I grab my pen and write it down like a scripture. Mr. Mystic, making hits for the misfits. The show where you don't know what you don't know when it's on again with Sean and Jonathan. Yeah.